Game of Thrones was a groundbreaking series that captivated audiences with its epic storytelling and unforgettable characters. But time spares no one. Over the years, several actors who brought Westeros to life have sadly passed away. Join us as we honor and remember 33 Game of Thrones actors who have passed away. Peter Vaughan as Maester Aemon. Peter Vaughan was born on April 4, 1923, in Wem, Shropshire, England. At 88, he took on the role of Maester Aemon in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing a commanding yet warm presence to the wise, blind scholar. Beyond the wall, Vaughan's personal life was just as colorful. He married actress Billie Whitelaw in 1952, but the marriage ended in divorce in 1966. Later, he found lasting love with Lilias Walker, whom he married and remained with until the end of his life. In his later years, Vaughan experienced significant vision loss, an emotional parallel to his portrayal of the blind Aemon. He passed away at the age of 93 on December 6, 2016, in Mannings Heath, West Sussex, England. Ian Gelder as Kevan Lannister. Ian Gelder was born on June 3, 1949, in England. At 62, he stepped into the role of Kevan Lannister in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing a calm and pragmatic presence to Tywin Lannister's loyal younger brother. Gelder's performance stood out in the small council scenes, where he showcased Kevan's political finesse and unwavering loyalty to House Lannister, especially during tense moments following his brother's death. Stepping away from the throne room, he shared a long-lasting relationship with fellow actor Ben Daniels, a partnership of over 30 years that stood as a testament to love and mutual support. In his later years, Gelder faced a tough battle after being diagnosed with bile duct cancer. He passed away at the age of 74 on May 6, 2024, in England, after 5 months of bravely fighting the disease. Roy Dotrice as Hallyne. Roy Dotrice was born on May 26, 1923, in Guernsey, Channel Islands. At 89, he took on the role of Hallyne, the pyromancer of the Alchemists Guild, in Game of Thrones in 2012, adding an air of mystery and eerie intensity to the character responsible for supplying wildfire in the Battle of Blackwater. Dotrice sent chills down viewers' spines with his haunting tone as he spoke of the substance's destructive power, highlighting Hallyne's crucial role in the Lannisters' victory. Leaving the wildfire behind, Dotrice's personal life was just as rich as the flames he controlled on screen. He married actress Kay Newman in 1947, and they had 3 daughters before her passing in 2007. A natural storyteller, Dotrice even recorded audiobooks for A Song of Ice and Fire itself. He passed away at the age of 94 on October 16, 2017, in London, England. Wilko Johnson as Sir Ilan Payne. Wilko Johnson was born on July 12, 1947, in Canvey Island, Essex, England. At 64, he portrayed Sir Ilan Payne in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing a chilling silence to the royal executioner who beheaded Ned Stark. Though he had no dialogue, Johnson captivated audiences with his piercing stare and menacing smirk, especially in the fateful execution scene at King's Landing. Beyond the executioner's block, Johnson's personal life was equally dramatic. He was married to Irene Knight from 1970 until her passing from cancer in 2004, leaving him with 2 sons. Later, Johnson was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2013, but refused chemotherapy, defying doctors' predictions and living longer than expected. He passed away at the age of 75 on November 21, 2022, in England. John Stahl as Rickard Stark. John Stahl was born on January 1, 1953, in Sauchie, Clackmannanshire, Scotland. At 59, he took on the role of Rickard Stark in Game of Thrones in 2012, bringing intensity and tragedy to the Northern Lord who was burned alive by the Mad King. Stahl made audiences feel Rickard's pain and pride, laying the foundation for House Stark's revenge story. He passed away at the age of 68 on March 2, 2022, on the Isle of Lewis, Scotland, due to natural causes related to a prolonged illness, leaving fans mourning his loss. Max von Sydow as Three-Eyed Raven. Max von Sydow was born on April 10, 1929, in Lund, Sweden. At 86, he stepped into the role of the Three-Eyed Raven in Game of Thrones in 2016, bringing mystery and wisdom to the figure guiding Bran Stark through his prophetic journey. With his deep voice and piercing gaze, von Sydow turned the character into a symbol of ancient knowledge, especially in the scenes beneath the weirwood tree. Stepping out of the mystical cave, he was married to Christina Olin from 1951 to 1979, with whom he had 2 children, before remarrying Catherine Brelet in 1997. He passed away at the age of 90 on March 8, 2020, in Provence, France. Margaret John as Old Nan. Margaret John was born on December 14, 1926, in Swansea, Wales. At 84, she portrayed Old Nan in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing both warmth and eeriness to Winterfell's legendary storyteller. With Tales of the Long Night, John captivated audiences with her slow, mesmerizing narration, especially in the scene where she recounts Westeros's dark past to Bran. Beyond the hearth of Winterfell, her personal life was just as meaningful. She married Ben Thomas in 1950, but after his passing in 1981, she remained single for the rest of her life. Sadly, she faced a brief but severe illness in her final days. She passed away at the age of 84 on February 2, 2011, in Swansea, Wales, due to complications from a sudden illness. Neil Fingleton as Giant White No. 2. Neil Fingleton was born on February 18, 1980, in Durham, England. At 34, he played Giant White No. 2 in Game of Thrones in 2014, bringing terror as an undead giant under the Night King's command. Standing at 7 feet 7 inches, 231 centimeters, Fingleton struck fear in battle scenes beyond the wall. Leaving the icy battlefield, he chose not to marry and initially pursued a basketball career before transitioning to acting. Additionally, his extraordinary height placed significant strain on his heart. He passed away at the age of 36 on February 25, 2017, in Durham, England, due to heart failure related to his unique physical condition. Darren Kent as Goatherd. Darren Kent was born on March 30, 1987, in Essex, England. At 27, he took on the role of the Goatherd in Game of Thrones in 2014, delivering raw emotion as the grieving father presenting his daughter's charred remains before Daenerys. Kent deeply moved audiences with his sorrowful performance in this powerful scene. Away from the dragon's shadow, he battled a chronic illness for many years, possibly linked to osteoporosis, which he had previously mentioned. He passed away at the age of 36 on August 11, 2023, in England, leaving behind a deeply emotional legacy. Bart the Bear 2 as the Bear. Bart the Bear 2 was born on January 20, 2000, in Paxson, Alaska, USA. At 13, he appeared as the bear in Game of Thrones in 2013, delivering raw ferocity in the scene where Brienne of Tarth was forced to fight in the bear pit. With his natural strength, Bart had audiences on edge during this tense moment in Season 3. Roaring beyond the pit, his personal life was quite unique. Trained by Doug and Lynn Seuss, he was part of a family of performing animals. He passed away at the age of 21 on November 14, 2021, in Heber City, Utah, USA. Kit Harington as Jon Snow. Kit Harington was born on December 26, 1986, in London, England. At 25, he took on the role of Jon Snow in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing resilience and honor to the Stark bastard who would later become one of the key warriors against the White Walkers. With his brooding gaze and fierce battle scenes in the north, Harington captivated audiences as Jon evolved from a Night's Watch recruit to the reluctant king of Westeros. Stepping beyond the wall, he married co-star Rose Leslie, who played Ygritte, in 2018, and they welcomed 2 children, one in 2021 and another in 2023. In 2025, at 38, Harington remains an active actor, recently starring in projects like the series The Beast Within, continuing to showcase his talent on both screen and stage. Sophie Turner as Sansa Stark. Sophie Turner was born on February 21, 1996, in Northampton, England. At 15, she portrayed Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones in 2011, delivering a powerful transformation from a naive girl to the sharp-witted leader of the North. With tense confrontations at Winterfell, Turner impressed audiences with Sansa's growth, especially in the final season when she became the Queen in the North. Leaving the cold halls of Winterfell, she married singer Joe Jonas in 2019, and they had 2 daughters, born in 2020 and 2022, though the couple divorced in 2023. In 2025, at 29, Turner continues her acting career with roles in films like The Staircase and remains a prominent figure in the industry while actively supporting mental health charities. Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister. Peter Dinklage was born on June 11, 1969, in Morristown, New Jersey, USA. At 42, he took on the role of Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing sharp wit and deep humanity to the youngest Lannister son. With his philosophical dialogues and tense showdowns in King's Landing, Dinklage won audiences over as Tyrion rose from a scorned outcast to the kingdom's trusted advisor. Beyond the Iron Throne, he married theater director Erica Schmidt in 2005, and they have 2 children, born in 2011 and 2017. In 2025, at 56, Dinklage remains a talented actor and producer, recently starring in projects like The Toxic Avenger, continuing to solidify his status as one of the finest actors of his generation. Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen. Emilia Clarke was born on October 23, 1986, in London, England. At 25, she took on the role of Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing strength and determination to the ambitious mother of dragons. With breathtaking dragon-riding scenes and inspiring speeches in Essos, Clarke mesmerized audiences as Daenerys transformed from an exiled princess to a conqueror of Westeros. Stepping off the dragon's back, Clarke's personal life is just as inspiring. She has never married but overcame 2 brain surgeries due to aneurysms in 2011 and 2013, a challenge she faced with remarkable resilience. In 2025, at 38, Clarke remains a prominent actress, starring in projects like The Pod Generation while leading her charity, Same You, which supports brain injury recovery. Gwendoline Christie as Brienne of Tarth. Gwendoline Christie was born on October 28, 1978, in Worthing, England. At 34, she portrayed Brienne of Tarth in Game of Thrones in 2012, bringing strength and honor to the towering female warrior. With masterful sword-fighting scenes and unwavering loyalty to House Stark, Christie moved audiences through Brienne's journey of protection and battle, particularly during the Battle of Winterfell. Leaving the battlefield behind, she has been in a relationship with designer Giles Deacon since 2013, though they have not married or had children. In 2025, at 46, Christie continues her acting career with roles in Netflix's Wednesday and frequently graces major events with her distinctive style. Liam Cunningham as DeVos Seaworth. Liam Cunningham was born on June 2, 1961, in Dublin, Ireland. At 51, he took on the role of Davos Seaworth in Game of Thrones in 2012, bringing honesty and loyalty to the former smuggler-turned-advisor to Jon Snow. With his deep, commanding voice and heartfelt dialogues, Cunningham won audiences over as Davos remained devoted to his cause in Dragonstone and the North. Beyond the shores of Westeros, his personal life is fulfilling. He has been married to Colette Cunningham since the 1980s, and together they have 3 children, building a strong family life in Ireland. In 2025, at 63, Cunningham remains an active actor, appearing in projects like Three Body Problem and continuing to make his mark in both television and film. Maisie Williams as Arya Stark. Maisie Williams was born on April 15, 1997, in Bristol, England. At 14, she took on the role of Arya Stark in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing grit and determination to the youngest Stark daughter. With chilling revenge scenes and expert combat skills, Williams thrilled audiences as Arya evolved from a fugitive child to the slayer of the Night King. Stepping out of the shadows, her personal life is full of energy. She has never married but was in a relationship with Ollie Jackson since 2019. In 2025, at 28, Williams continues acting with roles in The New Look while venturing into business, co-founding the creative app Daisy to support young artists. Lena Headey as Cersei Lannister. Lena Headey was born on October 3, 1973, in Hamilton, Bermuda. At 38, she took on the role of Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones in 2011, bringing ruthless ambition to the cunning queen of Westeros. With piercing gazes and manipulative scenes in the Red Keep, Headey made audiences both despise and admire Cersei as she schemed for the throne. Leaving the throne room behind, she was married to Peter Lochran from 2007 to 2013, with whom she shares a son, and later had a daughter with Dan Caden in 2015, though they eventually separated. In 2025, at 51, Headey remains a talented actress, starring in projects like Beacon 23 and continuing to command the screen. These 33 talented actors left a lasting mark on Game of Thrones and will always be remembered for bringing Westeros to life. Their performances continue to inspire fans around the world. Who was your favorite Game of Thrones character? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.